Okay, so it seems that we have a little bit of an update on the whole Zentreya situation. Now, this has been a pretty interesting one, as she's been getting a lot of backlash over her new model, especially over on Twitter, and especially over on Blue Sky as well. You know, that Blue Sky word, oh god, what have they done this time? And yeah, it gets pretty bad. You know, there's been a lot of harassment and hate sent her way over pretty much nothing. And well, it is also good to see that there has been some people supporting Zen, including a lot of VTubers and VTuber fans, right, who've been kind of defending her and going after anybody who is spreading kind of, you know, hateful and just kind of, I don't know, unnecessary messages. Because again, if you don't know the recent situation that's gone on, a lot of people have been going after Zen for this outfit here, which is her new model, which looks absolutely amazing, by the way. It's really, really nice. But some people obviously likened that to a certain, Germany World War II kind of thing, right? And obviously, I do think, you know, there is a lot of kind of aspects that maybe could be considered that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't feature anything that I would say would point to that. And I think a lot of people are pretty crazy because it is just a military outfit. You know, obviously, you know, they used military outfits, but also many other armies and also many other fictional armies as well. Not even just real life, but also fictional armies have used similar kind of uniforms, right? And for some reason, nobody has an issue with those fictional ones, but apparently it's such an issue whenever Zen does it for her VTuber model, right? Which I do think is pretty absurd. And there's been, many people commenting on it, including obviously, you know, this person saying, pretty damn funny that people are getting mad at Zentreya for having a military uniform and calling her a Nazi, while Shondo re-debuts as a literal emoto dictator and nobody bats an eye. Maybe some people should take a hint that everyone is sick of the accusation rhetoric, which 100% is true. You know, Shondo has, debuted as a moto dictator, which obviously is very funny, and I do think it is a, you know, cool design, to be honest. And yeah, nobody got mad at them, nobody mentioned that, but obviously whenever Zen does it, apparently everybody has a big issue. And obviously, people say Zen had similar outfits in the past too, so I'm surprised that so many people are suddenly mad about this, unless they started watching their content recently, which was also another really, really big point that people were bringing up, which we covered in the last video, was, she's had similar models to this in the past. This isn't the first time that she's done a model like this, and I think that if people didn't know that she was going to do something like this, they're pretty stupid, right? Or they're not a fan, they're not someone who watches her content, and essentially just kind of getting on this hate train to, I don't know, get a few clicks or something. I'm not sure. I don't want to kind of assume their intention, but you know, it is very clear that they don't watch her content at all and have some ulterior motive to, you know, hating on her so much. I see a lot of people saying, I think anybody calling Zen an LC over a new outfit has never watched a stream of hers at all. I really hope people's behavior doesn't ruin the model for her, because it generally is a good outfit. And I think this does bring up a really good point here. Obviously, you know, the fact of the outfit and what it actually means to Zen, and what it kind of, I guess, reminds her of, right? And I hope that this situation that has kind of unfolded over the past couple of days hasn't kind of, I guess, soured the kind of love for the outfit, because obviously she was very excited. She had a ton of really cool stuff going on, including like animations and kind of songs and things, which was really, really cool for a debut, right? But again, I hope that this kind of thing hasn't like soured her opinion of it, or hasn't kind of like ruined it for her, because again, obviously it is a really, really good model that deserves to obviously get a lot of love. But yeah, many people have taken it into their own hands to send a lot of hate. Obviously, there's a lot of people as well going after specific people who have been going after her, saying, so Elementa is the one who originated the whole Zentreya is a Nazi. Wait, I know that name. That's right, she's the go who thinks everybody is one of these. She also is an anti who has said horrible things about Saba, and she is a part of harassing the Lollipop girls. So yeah, as you can see there, you know, that's their account, I think. And this is my Twitter feed in a nutshell. You can see, it's Saba. It said, one is a truly horrid individual who baits the worst of our society into thinking their thoughts are okay, who takes advantage of any situation through sheer ego and malice, as well as gets away with stuff involving the harm of anime children. The other is Takayuki Kyuchi, which, I think is pretty crazy to say about Saba, obviously. And then say, who takes advantage of any situation through sheer ego and malice. It says, so we're just overlooking the whole lolicon and pedo bait part, huh? So again, obviously they're trying to go after Saba for some reason, which I think is quite funny. You know, some people also say, hi, I was there when Ella originally said something about Zentreya and commented under Ella's post. I immediately disagreed with her and told her the Zen is in her rights. Obviously, some people try to run defense for them now. Said, well, maybe not the first of Ella. Maybe not the first of the first. Ella is definitely one of the first who brought this conversation over to Blue Sky, and one of the many actors of this discussion on Twitter. The fact that you're more worried about who did it first rather than anything is laughable. Which, yeah, it seems like they're trying to like talk about this stuff. Like they said, please do not spread information. You know, it doesn't matter if they did it first or if they, you know, did it last. At the end of the day, they've still said this kind of stuff about Zen and about Saba and about so many other people, right? And, you know, obviously it doesn't matter the time frame that they said it in. I don't know why that is even one of the kind of points. Obviously they said as well with stuff involving harm of anime children, so don't ask me. So yeah, it seems like they have been kind of called out for a lot of you know, interesting behavior over on Twitter. There's been more people as well because they've moved over to Blue Sky as well now. So this is something that you guys maybe won't see if you aren't a Blue Sky user. Maybe you are. You know, I don't think there is many Blue Sky users who watch me, right? But they say this bitch is still bitching on Blue Sky now. Also, Zen didn't crash out on you. She called you out and you went into hiding after getting wrecked. If you were to ask me, it sounds like you were the one crashing out. They said, literally had to go private on Twitter due to the sheer amount of harassment I was getting because of the literal biggest VTuber in the space decided to choose to crash out while name searching herself in order to attack anybody not on her side. This space is genuinely disgusting. And obviously, that's in a quote to another post which says, currently being bombarded by Zentreya fans on Twitter for having an opinion on her terrible initial response to the Nazi uniform drama and being misunderstood when I said I'm not invested in that side but in the response itself. Maybe it's all social media, man. Everyone's going insane. And then they said, so I give proper apology, but you were mad before, but suddenly you don't care. And obviously, yeah, that's what Zen had to say in response, which I think Zen is right. You know, obviously, you know, she gave an apology and whatever and tried to explain everything. But again, you know, they don't want to hear that. They just want to hate on people, which I think is crazy. And also, I do think as well, they're saying, I'm being bombarded with, you know, Zentreya fans on Twitter for having an opinion, right? Whenever you put your opinion out on Twitter, it's always going to get scrutinized by anybody, you know, whether it's a good opinion or a bad opinion. Any opinion that you put out is always going to be seen and can always be commented on. You know, if you don't want people attacking you over your opinions, and I'm guessing, you know, your opinion about this wasn't exactly the best one, well, you're going to get, you know, obviously a lot of messages and things, and that's your fault for uploading it to Twitter. You can always delete the post. You can always, you know, obviously remove it, but obviously you don't want to do that because, again, you're getting clicks, you're getting likes, you're getting people interacting with your posts, and you won't ever do that. Instead, you'll complain about it on another platform because obviously that's a safe space for you, and Blue Sky feels better to kind of rant about it, which I think is crazy. But yeah, you've only got about 4 likes on that, which is also pretty insane. So yeah, obviously a lot of people saying they're the embodiment of this meme, idiotic statement. Oh well, so many triggered people, which obviously, yeah, it's 100% true. And then obviously people were going on to say, if you ask me, Zentreya should have never apologized. It was a mistake. It was a mistake, but it's going to happen again because it happened before. People lost it because Zentreya dared to stream multi-stream on Kick once and she gave in. Never let your audience make your business decisions for you. He said, as long as you tolerate people jerking around you, they will keep going after you. Sometimes we make mistakes and apologizing is necessary, but when it comes down to a business decision like this, double down. Never apologize. You are not the audience plaything. So yeah, obviously a lot of people saying, I don't blame Zen for losing her temper. Like she said, anyone would go off if they got accused of something of that they weren't, which obviously 100% true. You know, if I was Zentreya and this stuff was happening to me, I also would probably be crashing out on people as well. Obviously, there's also been some people, you know, providing things saying, so I wanted to expand on this. I'm a professional costume designer and maker, and I've wanted to speak on this since the design dropped, but wasn't really sure how. And they say the main point was I wanted to make is even if your attention isn't for the symbolism, that specific style of hat, the peak of the cap, the shape of the visor, the placement of the emblems, and the uniform was purpose designed for that. For a, you know, obviously you know what that is. Say, and it is going to invoke certain imagery, whether you want it to or not. Yes, we see these designs a lot in anime, and this is because Japan has long held a close relationship with Germany over 120 years. You do the math, there is a huge problem with anime's fixations on this aesthetic too. So yeah, obviously they're going into the design aspects of the hat in particular, right? And again, I can understand it, but also I don't think Germany is the only place to have a hat like this. I mean, it doesn't even look too similar to the other ones that they provide in the anime picture, which I'm not going to expand, by the way, because it is pretty crazy. I'm going to be real. I think there is a lot of other hats like this, you know, elsewhere. And I also think that other kind of games and things and other places also, you know, provide an area to kind of have some inspiration for your design, right? And yeah, you know, this one, for example, this is Azia Lane. Azia Lane always have these, right? This is a Bismarck from Azia Lane. She fits the whole general aesthetic that Zen's design, working on a military uniform. She's also a ship for a World War II German ship, right? But again, I don't see any problem, and nobody has any problem with this design, right? And sure, you know, this one is based off of a German ship, but I do think as well, there's many other kind of, you know, militaries and stuff that use similar hats, and it's not just Germany. It's not just, you know, these places that are only using this kind of design, right? But again, I do think this is going to be one of these things that's going to be argued about for a very long time, and I don't think it really matters at the end of the day at this point, because obviously you can tell that is not Zentreya's intention at all, and I think a lot of people attacking her over this are pretty stupid, and yeah, I think it has gotten a little bit out of hand, and I'm glad to see there has been some people obviously, yeah, fighting back and kind of, you know, replying and responding to a lot of people with, you know, obviously correcting misinformation and stuff, because it has gotten pretty out of hand. But yeah, that's essentially all there is for this video. I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update on that, because obviously we covered it in the first kind of part, but I do think it is pretty crazy about all of the stuff that has kind of gone on over the past couple of days. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.